welcome to another book journaling video with me. My name is Rachel, and every so often I do these book journaling videos where I just cover a few books that I've been reading the past couple of months. This video is about all the fall books that I've read from, I guess, October and November. I started out with Awkward in October. I think it's a newer book. It came out last year in 2022. And it's just a little romance, humorous book. It was actually the perfect book to read after reading some super duper intense crime thrillers. If you watched my other book journaling video, my recent one, you know why I am reading just some kind of funny romances, some comedic romance books. And this book was the perfect book to read. So in the beginning of Awkward in October, I did think that it might have been a little bit silly, maybe a little bit Hallmarky, not with that much spice, but it did have a little bit of spice. It was fun, lighthearted, but not like super duper tame. I don't know. It wasn't like crazy or anything, but it was just like a silly, fun-loving book, and I still enjoyed it. And I did rate it just a 3 out of 5, but I do still think that it was just perfect for if you need just a silly book after a really, really serious one. It's not something that I'm probably going to go back to, but it was still fun. So the character, I love how the main character has hamsters. And no spoilers in this, by the way. This is like right in the beginning. Like, spoiler alert, the main character has hamsters. They seemed to fit her personality a lot. Like, she's supposed to be this quirky, kind of out there and more outgoing person, and her love interest is so totally not. So she kind of brings him out of his shell, and it's really fun. I like their back and forth on that second page right here. I was just writing a lot of the little back and forth banters that I laughed at. I kind of I giggled at them. It was a fun thing. It was a fun time. Anyways, I enjoyed this quirky book and the two characters. It was the perfect book to read after a traumatizing thriller. Super lighthearted, and it includes hamsters, and it's even a little bit spicy. It does give off some cozy, cute fall vibes. It's actually set in the Northeast, and the main character, she ends up moving across, she has like a mental breakdown or something and moves across the country. I think that's what happens, to buy an old dilapidated Victorian house, like an old house, like an old witch house that's supposedly haunted. I don't know. It's a perfect fall read. But this book right here, called You Again by Kate Goldbeck. Oh my goodness. Did you just see that I rated it 5 whole stars? If you like the movies like When Harry Met Sally, you will absolutely love this book. As I was reading this book, I had to Google like a bunch of movies just like When Harry Met Sally, and I just binged all of them. And actually, I totally didn't even realize that I never watched When Harry Met Sally, and it was a really good movie. Anyway, that is besides the point. This book was fantastic, I think. Anyway. Oh, I rated it a 4.5 out of 5 because I didn't want to give it too much, but I don't know. I could probably rate it a 5. I loved this book. It was the perfect amount of romance. It was a little gritty, and it had some spice, but the spice was not overdone and cheesy and dumb like some of the spicy books. It wasn't like a spicy smut book. It was like a real book. It was like the characters were very real. They were well-rounded characters, and it was just really awesome to read. I actually want to get this book in a soft cover. I don't like hardcover books, so except for Harry Potter, but I do want to get a copy of this book. I read it on my Kindle device. So, but I did not know that this was going to be one of those stories that spans over around like 10 years. The main characters sort of just like keep coming back and forth to each other. They meet and they don't really like each other. It was like a enemies to lovers kind of thing going on. Also, if you like cooking, this book is so descriptive in the cooking, and there was just like the most fantastic descriptions of how this one of the main characters is like a chef. Anyway, I really, really enjoyed it. It was extremely cozy. It's set in fall in New York City, but it like kind of spans over different seasons too. But it seems like they're mostly revolves around like fall and winter. But it was like every page had a cliffhanger, and I loved this book. Perfect cozy fall romance. Okay, the next book, y'all probably have read it if you're watching like a book video. It is November 9th by Colleen Hoover, and I I did not like this book. I thought that it was going to be like some kind of like a hardcore, really sad, hard to read book. But by the way, like everyone would just be saying, "Oh, I couldn't finish it. I couldn't do November 9th. I can't." And I thought that meant that it was just like really hard to read, but no. It's hard to read because it is one of the most cringy books that I have ever read in my life. And I have read other Colleen Hoover books, which they're a little bit cringy because I feel like they revolve around younger people, like high school and early college. Some things might be cringy if you're a little bit older than that. Oh, because sometimes people in their early 20s can be cringy. I know I was. One of the questions in my book journal says, "What are you going to take away from this book?" And I wrote, "Not much." It did not seem too realistic, and the ending was a little weird. Like, I don't know. The guy character bugged me so much. Like, I don't know why. I just wanted to like punch him in the face or something. And I am not a violent person, y'all. I'm not. These kids just met at the age of 19 because the guy pretended to be her boyfriend, and suddenly they like commit to seeing each other every single year. And I just, why? You don't have to like, just because you just meet someone and they're your boyfriend doesn't mean you have to just be with them forever. Like, and I don't know, it was like very sudden love kind of thing. I just can't. I can't. Anyway, I was happy to get done with this book. And yeah, what did you think about November 9th? What did you think about You Again or Awkward in October if you've read it? What book should I read for the winter? I'm already kind of working on some winter books, but let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Goodbye. Goodbye.